We set out for the Malalotja Nature Reserve in Eswatini, departing in the early hours of Friday morning. By 8 o'clock we reached the border. The formalities were surprisingly smooth, and within half an hour we were at the reserve's entrance. After signing in at reception, we headed to the Malolotja restaurant, where we left our vehicles and prepared for our 4-day hiking expedition. Our leader Paul gave us a brief rundown, and by 10 a.m. we began our adventure. The weather was as forecasted. Clear skies and temperatures climbing to 29 degrees later in the day. Such warmth was a welcome surprise, considering it was winter time. Despite running on less sleep than usual, our spirits were high and we were ready to embrace the journey ahead. Not long into our hike, we encountered our first wildlife, a group of blesbok casually crossing our path. They seemed unfazed by our presence, perhaps accustomed to human visitors. A few kilometers in, we reached the Logwala viewpoint. We paused, taking in the stunning view and each other's company. The hike soon transitioned from a comfortable dirt road to more challenging single tracks, occasionally requiring some bundu bashing. The heat intensified as the day wore on, with temperatures climbing into the high 20s. Shady spots were scarce, and we savored every opportunity to escape the sun's relentless glare, even if just for a few minutes. Malolotja offers 19 numbered wilderness campsites, each near a source of potable water. Some are real gems, while others are overgrown and barely usable. Our first campsite fell into the latter category, forcing us to improvise and find a relatively flat spot nearby to set up camp. And so we arrived at our first stop. Welcome to campsite number 2. After a long day on Friday, we allowed ourselves the luxury of sleeping in on Saturday morning. We took our time getting ready and didn't start hiking until around 8:30. Today's route was a gentle walk down a broad valley towards our next campsite. A few kilometers in, we passed an old ranger's hut. Not long after that, we had a chance encounter with a large group of hikers on a religious expedition organized by the church.
This guy's gonna get tired.
Their greetings were unusually enthusiastic, with songs and praises filling the air. A heartwarming experience. Further along, we reached the Eswatini Falls, where we took a refreshing break, immersing ourselves in the icy, therapeutic water. This day our campsite was a true gem, situated under a magnificent tree with a stunning view of the Western Mountains. Welcome to campsite number 4. With the day still young, we set up camp and spent the afternoon playing games and enjoying each other's company.
But I just thought I'd check.
Somebody was talking about feet
I choose.
fetishes and
I'll choose the one closest to me this time.
This one.
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
The location was idyllic, and as evening approached, we were treated to a breathtaking sunset. Later we gathered around the campfire by a little stream, watching the bush TV until sleep called. Sunday morning saw us up shortly before 6 a.m, ready to start hiking by 7. Today's challenge was to climb out of the valley with an opportunity to summit Eswatini hill along the way. Malolotja's high rolling hills and deep forested river gorges offer a true wilderness experience for hikers. With over 200 kilometers of trails, the reserve provides some of the finest hiking opportunities in southern Africa. The initial ascent of the Eswatini hill didn't seem too daunting, but we soon discovered the real challenge lay behind what we could see. A strong westerly wind was blowing, gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour, making the climb not only more difficult, but also surprisingly cold. Despite my initial reluctance to reach the top in such conditions, once there, the wind subsided, allowing us to enjoy the panoramic views in peace. Our descent led us into the Malolotja stream valley, where we were met with Afro-montane forests and a clear, flowing stream with inviting swimming spots.
Just look back halfway and smile. Oh.
Although it was very different from the previous night's location, our next campsite was also a treasure. Welcome to campsite number 9. Beautifully situated beside a lovely stream, with ample space for our tents and excellent campfire facilities. Monday marked the final day of our expedition, and time was of the essence. Not only did we need to make our way back to our starting point, but we also had a long drive back to Johannesburg ahead of us. On our return, we frequently caught glimpses of Eswatini Hill, which we had climbed the previous day. Seeing it from a different angle made us realize what an accomplishment that climb had been. The day involved a lot of uphill trekking, as we needed to regain the nearly 1,000 meters of elevation we had lost on Sunday. Along the way we paused on the Eswatini viewpoint, taking in the magnificent panoramic views. As we neared the end of our journey, we were greeted by more wildlife sightings. Blesbok, eland, warthogs, and even a small sluggish snake warming itself in the morning sun. The final stretch consisted of a dirt track that wound itself through a landscape dotted with pointy rocks, giving the surroundings an almost magical quality. Before heading home, we treated ourselves to a cold shower, a celebratory drink, and a well-deserved lunch at the Malolotja restaurant. Over lunch we unanimously agreed that we had discovered a hiking paradise and vowed to return for more breathtaking adventures. And so another great hiking experience with like-minded companions came to an end.
Knows me better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree.